Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Patty Giarrusso, and this is Let's Talk Pets on Society Bites Radio. Today, we welcome back to the show Kathy Pobloskie from Lost Dogs of America, and we believe that this is our last show of 2020, and we're all kind of glad that 2020 is going to be said goodbye to. I know I am, and we're all praying for a better 2021. But for for today, we're going to recap our year and talk about some of our favorite and most important tips that Kathy's told us about this year, and some of our favorite stories that we'll share with you. This year has been like no other we have ever experienced, and the challenges and heartaches have hit so many of us. And today we just want to reflect on some of the better stories, the happy stories, and some extra important tips that will hopefully keep your pet safe throughout the new year. So welcome to the show, Kathy.
Thanks, Patty. And boy, I couldn't agree with you more. Aren't we glad to be seeing the backside of 2020?
I know.
Wow.
What a crazy year. I mean, it did fly by.
A year ago.
Oh, I know.
Yes, it did fly by. Who would have thought when we were talking a year ago that we would be talking like we are now about all the stuff that's happened?
I know. It's just an unbelievable thing. I mean, when this started at the beginning of this year, I guess in February-ish, even then, I didn't think that we'd be where we are today. And as we speak today, which is a couple weeks, we tape a couple weeks before we go on the air, things are the worst they have ever been. But we are hopeful with the vaccine and hopefully some new medical protocols that will soon be seeing the light. I don't know.
Yep.
We need some hope, that's for sure.
Yep.
So why don't we, I don't know if you want to start out with some of your favorite stories or what you'd like to talk about. We're just going to wing it today and close this year out however we want to.
Yeah, so I'm sure, the stories, oh my gosh, I just, I mean to do a better job of keeping track of them because as I'm sure you've noticed this too, they all start to run together after a while.
I know.
But I do notice some trends. We seem to be getting a lot more long lost dogs home because of microchips, which really makes me happy. It seems to be that it's just more common that when a dog is found, that it will be scanned for a microchip, and it's more likely that microchip was kept up to date. Yes. And so that makes me extremely happy. And I'm not sure if you're seeing that too, but and even not just in the states that we're operating in or with our volunteer organizations, just in general, it is very easy to find microchip stories almost every day now.
Yeah. One came across my email today, actually, of a long lost
really?
kitty.
Yep.
Yeah, a long lost kitty. Yeah.
That just makes me very, very happy. And we've had a few 3 and 4 year ones just in the last couple of weeks. And sorry again, and the details sometimes just go in one ear and out the other. But just the fact that these long lost dogs are getting home just warms my heart.
Yeah. I went through and looked to try to remember one of our best stories, and it was a little dog, a little Shih Tzu named Spanky. Spanky made it on the news, on ABC News, because he had been missing for 6 years and was found. He was missing from one of our counties and found in another adjoining county. And he'd been missing for 6 years, and he was not in good shape. So whoever took him or kept him or whatever happened to him, because he wasn't anywhere near where he went missing, didn't really take very good care of him. But he was 2 when he went missing, and he was 8 when he was found. And thankfully, very thankfully, Spanky's mom kept that chip up to date. And when I called her to tell her he'd been found, she didn't believe me. She's like, no, Spanky's right here. And I said, no, this is a Spanky that's been, found with a chip. And she just I mean, she was speechless because she, in honor of missing Spanky, her new dog, she named Spanky.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay, I was going to say, wow.
yeah, yeah. So she ended up having to rename the old Spanky something new. And I don't remember what it was, but she got on TV a couple times. We sent her story in and they picked it up because it was a great story. And, it's these heartwarming stories that make you realize the importance of keeping that up to date. And I know I say this a lot, that we sound sometimes like a broken record, but we cannot stress when you hear these stories how important that is to keep your pet's chip updated, even if it's missing it. You have to do it.
Yes. Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just looking at one now too. This was a 3 years, a little Yorkie. That was this dog was in was Lost Dogs of Texas, and the people never gave up. They kept updating everything, kept sharing their flyer, and had kept her up their microchip up to date, and she was found, and now she's safe at home.
Yeah.
The
I mean, we
the
see
other
these
ones that
stories,
I
like you
love,
said, more and more. We see these more and more.
yeah,
And it's great
yep.
because every time the story comes out, it makes people think about it, I think.
I absolutely think you're right. So it makes them think, and it makes them more likely to go and and check on their microchip. They kind of think, oh man, is that something that I have been doing, or is it something that I need to do? Um, the other thing that always gets me very excited, and I love putting the two flyers side by side, is when we get both the lost and the found report in. So somebody reports their dog lost, and then sometimes within even a few hours, sometimes longer, we get a found report in for that same dog, and that's just to me very exciting because it shows that the system is starting to work. People are looking in, not having to look in quite so many places, looking in one place, and they're making the matches.
Yeah.
Or maybe they don't make the match, but I mean, we at least get both the reports in. I mean, we can say, hey, we think that's the same dog,
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can contact them, send them a picture to see if it is, and that's, to me, just really exciting.
Yeah, it is. It happens a lot with us as well, that, I, you never know who's watching the page, or in our case groups page. But I used to be able to keep almost every pet in my head, but now
Yeah.
there are so many of them, as we've grown. I'm talking when we first started, we didn't have, fewer members meant fewer lost pets. Now over 33,000 members in 2 counties, we have a lot of lost pets. So I appreciate so much those people, those volunteers, the members that watch the page, and as soon as something pops up, they're like, oh, I think I saw that, and they'll go searching for the flyer or the post, to make the match. And we just had a match made the other day, and I was like, how did I not see that? Because I made both posts, but it's just so busy that, sometimes you just can't put 2 and 2 together.
Right. Yep. Isn't that the truth, though? You kind of feel like, oh, man, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
But it is easy. It is so easy because we're just, they're coming in and we're posting them. And,
People don't realize, you see these, oh, I never knew there were that many lost pets. Yeah, well, there are,
Yep. there absolutely are. Yep. I just came across here, another one here was 4 years. Dog ended up at animal control and they scanned it for a microchip. 2016. And the other thing I think that's really cool is with a cell phone camera now and Facebook, these shelters and animal control agencies can do a quick video, and those things will just absolutely go viral. And again, I think it really highlights the idea that microchips are wonderful, and people need to think about either getting their pet microchipped or making sure that if they're not, or if they are already microchipped, making sure that it's up to date. So having that ease of posting a video to Facebook, I think has really, really helped our cause.
Yeah.
We love technology as it comes along and makes things easier, and just helps, more than anything, helps spread the message. And you think back 10 years ago, that wasn't possible. It was now it is just so simple. And on to technology, actually, though, I was just like, we love technology and it has its places, but sometimes it is almost, I don't know if you saw the story, and I just wrote an article about it the other day, about the dog. I think it was on the East Coast somewhere, and it was found by a drone. Did you see that story? It made the national news.
And what was it, Kathy?
It was a golden, looked like a golden retriever, but it was very white colored dog, and so a very light colored golden retriever, and it was found by a drone, by a man operating a drone.
Oh yes, I did see that.
Yeah, his dog's name was Meadow. Yeah, so it's a great story, very heartwarming. People were thrilled to have their dog back, and I think it was missing like 11 days, but it made everybody immediately come to our page and say, oh, under every posting is like, oh, you need to get a drone. Oh, you need to get a drone. Oh, you need to get a drone.
Yeah.
And so, that was a perfect situation for a drone to operate in, but most of the time we're not working in that kind of perfect situation.
Yeah.
And there's so much to consider. Yeah. So, we've been dealing with that a lot just in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks, trying to educate people that drones are good, but they're not the magic pill. And old-fashioned flyers and signs bring home way more dogs than drones are ever going to bring home. Yeah. Because you have to consider the vegetation and where the dogs could be hiding, and all the places that, the drone's just never going to see the dog.
Right. I mean, it's one thing if it's an open field situation with little to no cover, but if there's a lot of cover, places to hide, fields of corn or whatever there may be, a drone is not going to really be the answer. And as you said, the flyers are the most important thing people can do. The flyering and the big posters, the big bright posters, anything that somebody going by can see. We hear it almost every day. Oh, it was this flyer, they saw the flyer. And, we want everybody to put the flyers up.
Right. That's what kind of worries me a little bit. So when you hear these stories come out, which, sound wonderful, but then you have people, the owners, spending all their effort and energy and maybe their money on either purchasing a drone or hiring a drone operator, and spending all their effort there and not on delivering the flyers, which have a higher, probability of helping get their pet home. So, we always just try to encourage people to make wise decisions about how they spend their money and their time and their effort, and to spend it in a way that they're going to have the best bang for their buck in getting their pet home.
And going along with that, as far as the low cost things, and this is a no cost thing, that really, really matters, because we had one pet that died and one pet that was saved in the same situations. Well, one got closed into a shed on a neighbor's property, and that one died. The one that got closed into a garage for 2 days was found, and it did survive. But we tell everyone, knock on your doors, and it is harder now. Even if you make a bigger sign that you can knock and then stand back and hold the sign up so they can see, can you check your garage? Can you check your sheds for me and take down my number if you see my cat or whatever, there are ways to do it even in these troubled times.